to Love Morning. This is part of Hug Nation. I'm flashing a little screen of my pink fro from 18 years ago. I've been editing a video of me kind of reacting to myself talking about philosophy 18 years ago. But I get such a kick out of the avatars that I have played. Let me take that off screen because it's kind of distracting. Good morning. We will be sharing gratitude and connection and a little intention for the day. But first we begin opening up and singing a song in a bowl or a cup. And if we share good things so all can hear, then we can gather hope and discard fear. It's love morning, love. Love morning, it's love morning, love. Love morning, love morning. Good morning. If you're here, say hello. Would love to hear where you are, what you're grateful for, what's going on. Good morning, Gerbot. Good to see you. I am feeling the solitude in this home. Lisa is gone. She just sent me a text last night that said, turning my phone off for the week. I'm like, but it will be, at least I have so much other goodness in my life. I'm grateful for an overcast day. It's nice and cool. I love a good opportunity to feel comfortable wearing clothes. You know, summertime, I'm usually like, what's the least amount of fabric I can have on my body? This feels like, I'd rather be in a tank top right now. I did send a note to this company. This is One Golden Thread, these like awesome shirts that I've been wearing. And I sent a note, said, hey, I just started a sponsorship with Lucid, this beverage that I love. And it occurred to me that there's a couple other products that I would love to sponsor or endorse. And so would you guys want to send me some shirts, and I'll say that you sponsor my show? We'll see what they say. But I do love One Golden Thread. That's I occasionally indulge in fast fashion and I feel guilty, but this is like nicely made. I feel good about the production of it. It's super, it ain't cheap, but you get what you pay for. Anybody else feeling any gratitude? What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful I had a wonderful men's group last night and really enjoyed checking in and hearing about the things that people go through. And part of the benefit of a men's group or something like that is just that, you know, you realize that everyone's got struggles. And it really, I think for me, it makes, it's so easy to get myopic and weigh your difficulties, your struggles a lot heavier than they really are compared to what everybody's dealing with. And so as you hear like, oh yeah, they got a struggle. Oh my gosh, she's trying to figure that out. Oh, I remember having a struggle like that. Oh, boy, I've never had to deal with that before. It's like, oh, I can't keep on. I love my problems, you know? And just knowing that surface level facade of the world where everyone is smiling and posturing and is compared to that, oh man, my life is hard. But compared to what everyone's real life is, oh, my life is awesome. And it takes vulnerability and sharing to have that perspective. Good morning, high noon. Hello to you from the inner coastal forest of Cape Cod. Sweet. Good morning, Juan. Good to see you. Good morning. Angela says, I'm grateful for a calm morning to myself, a short sunrise walk where I tried to befriend 2 neighborhood crows, and I'm grateful for the upcoming long weekend that we are using to move into my significant other into my home. Ooh, that's exciting. We're about to be a 4-cat household. He has 2, I have 2. Well, that sounds exciting, but it sounds perfect. Have fun with that. I didn't even realize until yesterday that this weekend was 4th of July weekend, because I was gone last week and then I was like, oh, next weekend is first Saturday. I'm like, oh, first Saturday, that means 4th of July is this week. So I have no plans. Kerbot says, grateful for a furry pal I'm taking care of and how we are bonding out here on the back porch. Nice. Gearbot says, we're making history today. I'm feeling very grateful for a podcast that I have mentioned here before, but called We Will Rank You, that is hosted by 4 people, 3 of whom I went to high school with, Dan, Adam, and Jim, and have not talked in depth to them for many years. But it's so fun to listen to them talk about music for a number of reasons. One, as they talk, like I feel like they're old friends. Even though I haven't talked to them, but it feels like I know them. It feels like they're current friends and we're hanging out, even though we have not interacted. I did see Dan last weekend, but the other ones, anyway. But the other thing that I really am appreciating is they have an appreciation of music that is so much deeper than mine. And as I am now engaged to a professional musician and song leader and recording artist, I'm very aware that I don't have the same level of appreciation and understanding of music as she does. And listening to them dissect albums and talk about little elements of the production or the instrument use or chords or harmonies, the way that they notice them and appreciate them, is really helping me to understand the language that my life partner is so fluent in. She's very patient with me, and she kind of invites me into whatever musical level that I want to engage with, and she's very accepting when I kind of am intentionally obtuse about music stuff. She knows that we have very different relationships. You know, she marvels that I can improv a song every morning, and I marvel that she can have thousands of songs memorized. And so I'm just really appreciative to the We Will Rank You podcast for helping me feel like I have these relationships with boys who are now men that I went to high school with, and for the entertaining, insightful, musical wisdom that they are sharing. I think I'm almost the last. Actually, no, I've now started to listen. At first, I'm like, oh, there's only like 3 records in their 40-something episodes of records that I've heard. And so I'm like, am I going to enjoy it if I'm listening to records that I don't know? And I'm actually listening to one now of them reviewing a record I haven't heard. Record, is that right? A compilation of music released as an album. And I'm still enjoying it. It also helps me understand the appreciation of live music. Like, I don't really like concerts. I know. I also don't really like hot springs or cats or dogs. Please, no, stop sending the hate mail. I'm sorry. But I do enjoy hearing other people's appreciation for their dogs, for their cats, for hot springs, and for live music. And each little detail of appreciation I hear from others helps me to expand mine. So I'm grateful for the We Will Rate You podcast, and all of those who speak the language of their passions in ways that help others to understand better. Chris says, grateful for my problems relative to others. Upset about the political landscape, but grateful that it doesn't impact me too much. But caught in that no man's land of wanting to be an ally to others and just trying to focus on my stuff. I think that's a very familiar place that people are trying to navigate. High Noon says, have you heard about the Friendship Bench? Music is so powerful. I don't know the Friendship Bench. Good morning, Natasha. Natasha says, I am so grateful for my veterinary clinic who has been instrumental in helping me pack up 6 dogs. Helping my pack of 6 dogs. Someone else was talking about moving in together. You're not packing your dogs into suitcases. You've got a pack of 6 dogs. Yesterday, they saw one of them on an urgent basis for a bite from another and got him taken care of. Super grateful to be in a position to afford their care and afford my daughter's braces we found out about this morning. And to live so comfortably as compared to so many others. That so powerful perspective recognition of I've got struggles. And all things considered, I'm okay. I love my problems. I think that is a really healthy place to be. There is no such thing as being without problems because the mind will create them. And in fact, the only thing that makes something a problem is your belief that it should be different. I'm going to say that again. The only thing that makes something a problem is that our belief is that it should be different. High Noon says, grateful for the hot spring and gym I belong to out in Montana. You know, for the longest time, I thought hot springs were like in the middle of the desert, there'd be like an oasis. And it was only in the last few years, I'm like, oh, there are like public pool type structures around hot springs. You know, there's no dirt or rocks at all. It's all, you know, cement and stuff. I had no idea. I mean, there's also, I've been in hot springs that are like wild, and I've been in some that are like public pools. I just didn't know that. Just like I don't know anything about live music. I don't know anything about hot springs. So who am I to judge? Amen, says Gerbot. Yes, sir, says High Noon. Yeah, And I think that idea of like thinking things should be different, it's one of those balance things. You know, you don't want to be passive and just allow suffering and allow injustice, but you also don't want to create your own suffering because you are fighting against a reality. You know, like if I'm angry that it's so hot out, the sun's so shiny and so bright, like I believe it shouldn't be this hot, so I'm going to suffer? Yeah, I kind of do that sometimes. It's insane. It is, logic would say that is a totally irrational belief that I want the sun to be less hot. And yet I can slip into it for sure. Natasha says, wildly grateful for that. A decade ago, I was someone who needed food stamps and government assistance to get fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm furious about that disappearing for people who need it like I once did. I'm looking into how to volunteer to help people fill out their forms for renewing services because it's the paperwork that usually drops them. Oh, that's interesting. Good to know. And thank you. Juan says, I'm grateful for fireworks, family, and fun. Not necessarily in that order. Oh yeah, it hadn't even occurred to me that fireworks. That makes sense. When I was at Grand Lake, we had a boat tour, and they talked a lot about the fireworks. And I wonder if it's as big a part of their tour other times a year. But clearly they were planning for it while we were there. The only thing that makes something a problem is that our belief is that it should be different, Gerbot is reflecting. Which isn't to say you should automatically let go of that. there are some things that is valuable to work towards changing. The key, I think, is can you acknowledge that you'd like it different, decide the actions you want to do to change it, and then work towards that change while accepting that it may not change, letting go of your attachment to outcome, so that you're working towards change but not suffering because of the state of things. That's hard. And there are people that will try to make you feel guilty. Why are you not more upset? Don't you care? Heine says, so much to learn and grow each moment in the here and now from each of us. Amen. Natasha says, oh, I'm grateful for trazodone for my dogs because of the fireworks. Oh, trazodone. I think I've been given that for help sleeping. Maybe I'll take some for the fireworks. Good morning, Sarah. Sarah says, grateful to be back to work on my summer art show season, seeing friends, fans, and making money again after a health diversion took me out of work this past winter. I've been to Esalen Hot Springs with Lisa. I have. Yes. Esalen is pretty incredible. It's one of my favorite places on the planet. I went there for a Burning Man retreat with the staff of Burning Man twice, and then I went there with Lisa once as well. Lisa worked there for years. Sarah also says, we've got beautiful natural hot springs in Idaho. Happy to show you some of your visit. Thank you. Good morning, Sherry. Sherry says, grateful for waking up feeling rested, which is glorious for a menopausal person. Worked out, sunrise, and now I'm here. Very grateful for health. I'm grateful to see you, Sherry. Behind me is I don't actually know what this is. I don't know. I saw it and it looked unique, and so far it's been growing pretty good. So I'm like, I don't know. Janet says, I'm grateful for the lovely birds outside this morning. Yay. My appreciation of birds has totally, it went from 0 to dramatic in the last few years. I never used to notice birds. Now I hear them all the time. Not right now, but yeah. Juan says, I'm looking forward to having 30 people over for a Mexican barbecue. Sweet! I know you are the BBQ king. Thank you, Gerbot. Gerbot says, grateful for your perspective and safe words of advice. Oh, sage. I'll say my safe word is red light, but my sage words are don't be attached to outcome, but work towards it anyways. Sherry says, I've heard there's some cities doing drone shows instead of fireworks on behalf of dogs. Oh, that's cool. Sherry's grateful for dogs. But first, before I saw my first drone show, I was so anti-drone show. But since I've seen a few, I'm now a fan. Love them. I mean, the ones I've seen have been super cool. Like I think it was the Renegade burn year. There was no burn, but they did a drone show of a man burning. It was pretty rad. Oh, well, what a joy to get to start the day with you and share some gratitude and some reminders of our connection and our interconnectedness. I'm going to set my intentions for the day to try to be, I won't say productive, I'll say try to avoid too much scrolling, too much ingestion of information that causes me stress. I'm going to try to work on a few creative projects, try to do some self-care for my body, try to be kind to the people that I encounter, maybe try to say some nice words or a compliment. I did get a chance this morning on my morning walk. I passed a woman that I'd never seen before in the neighborhood and got to say a hearty good morning to her and got a nice good morning back. See, to me, that is like, those are the little things. Is that a big deal? I said good morning to a neighbor? No, but life is lots of little things. And how you do the little things is how you do everything. So let's try to be kind. Natasha says, it's beautiful, meaning my beautiful philodendron. Grateful for plants and birds. I put up a couple feeders and hummingbirds coming so close to us because, put up feeders and hummingbirds coming so close to us because of it. It's so cool. I used to dislike birds a lot. I have a whole new appreciation of them over the last decade or so. Good morning, Paul. Paul says, grateful for gas in the generator, coffee in my cup, and time here with you all. Well, cheers, Paul. All right, Gearbot got his ticket to the Vern in the mail yesterday. It's happening. Natasha says, I've worn your shirts the last 3 days in a row. Yesterday for Costco and Trader Joe's, I wore Silly, Sexy, Sacred, and it reminds me to smile at people. Yay! Oh, that makes me happy. You can see the link to the t-shirts at lifestudent.com, which I just updated. It now has a link to the Hug Monster YouTube channel on it, and it has a link to the Heart-Centered Men. Heinen says, I'm grateful for recognizing that fireworks stress my inner being and my PTSD I'm working through. Good morning, Steve. Well, wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big ol' squeeze. Appreciate this day, the day ahead. Have some gratitude for whatever our problems are. Try to let go of our attachments of the outcomes, but work towards positive change regardless. Feel connected, appreciating this shared experience of being a human being as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us, thanks for being here and being a part of this Hug Nation Love Morning. I love you. Enjoy the day. Nice, high noon. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Natasha. Bye, Gearbot.